welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about why you could be a bad coder, thinking that you are good. I learned this the hard way, making a few mistakes during my career, and I want to talk about it. First of all, it is overcomplicating things. When writing code, it is easy to get carried away by making things more complex than they need to be. This can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe you're trying to show off your skills, or that you're worried that simple code won't be impressive enough. This happens especially with the beginner coders because they want to impress their bosses. But in reality, simple code is usually better. Simple code is usually the one that actually impress, not writing convoluted code. It is important that you keep things easy to understand, easy to follow, both for yourself and anyone who might be working on your code in the future. The second thing is the shiny new technology syndrome. It's easy to get excited about new technologies, but it's important to take the time to learn about them before diving in headfirst. It's because something is new and shiny doesn't necessarily mean it is the best option, best solution for the problem. Before adopting a new technology, take the time to do your research, read documentation, and understand its strengths and weaknesses. Third thing is, this is especially targeted towards backend developers. Third mistake that I did was not learning systems engineering earlier. Systems engineering is a process of designing, analyzing, and managing complex systems. As a coder, it's important to understand how all the different components of the system work together to produce a certain output rather than just focusing on individual components. Usually, programmers are assigned to a specific component to work in companies. You should understand how the whole overall system work, understand the impact of changes to your code. And the fourth thing is getting super focused on one technology. While it's good to have expertise in specific area, it is also important to be well-rounded and have a broad understanding of different technologies. Focusing too much on one technology can limit your ability to learn and grow, and it make you less valuable as a software developer in the long run. Try to expand your skill set by learning new programming techniques, frameworks, and tools. And the next mistake that I did is refactoring too much. Refactoring is a process of improving code quality incrementally by restructuring it without actually changing the output. While it's important to refactor the code to make it more maintainable and readable or scalable, it is important to not get bogged down in trying to optimize every single little thing. Sometimes it is better to leave it alone and move on to the other tasks. And the next mistake is over planning and too little planning. Finding the right balance between planning and flexibility can be a challenge. Over planning can lead to a state of analysis paralysis. We think a lot about something and not end up doing the thing. Where you spend so much time planning that you never actually start working. On the other hand, little planning can lead to confusion as well. It is important to find the right balance that works for you and your team. The next mistake is that thinking that I know more than I did. As a developer, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you know everything. But in reality, there's always more to learn. Being humble and recognizing that there's always room for improvement is essential to your growth as a coder. A mindset of continuous learning is important. This especially became apparent when I switched into freelancing and actually started working in different companies rather than and meeting permanent employees, full-time employees in each companies who have been there for a long time. They are very rigid to change, and also they usually thought they knew actually more than they actually did because they were too much focused in one technology and was not open to the other happenings in the tech arena in other fields, what other companies are using. Next mistake that I did was thinking that engineering is enough, understanding the relationship with other developers and upper management. Building relationships with your colleagues is an important part. It is not to say that you should kiss ass, but it is to say that you should have opinions, but also you should be flexible enough to hear others' opinions and stand your ground as well, but not it doesn't need to be disrespectful or anything like that. In fact, having a difference in opinions is will get you noticed, but if you don't do it the right way, alienate you and it can be detrimental to your whole team. And the final mistake that I did was not understanding what actually matters to business people. As developers, you usually have a tendency to get bogged down by technologies and not and get carried away with the technologies and deviate from the focus of actually achieving a business requirement in the whatever you are developing the application. Business is trying to bring money into the organization, and if the technologies or if the engineering department is introducing new problems for the business to solve, that can easily become a bottleneck down the line. Keep the business happy, have the overall vision of the business inside. Time to market is a really important thing, so keep that in mind when developing software solutions. What will be the minimum viable product that you can make to get the software to market? If you keep doing that, the business people will love you. With that being said, these are the mistakes that I did, and that is a very short summary of the things that you may take into consideration while learning to become a programmer. It's not just about engineering. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.